This might be the most expensive thing I've ever covered on Toycember. Before you is one of the Pokeball replicas from the Wand Company, specifically the Ultra Ball. Now, you've probably seen a lot of these in the background of YouTubers, reactions, streamers, etc. These are very, very popular show-off collectibles, and for the life of me, I'm not entirely sure why. Okay, so for starters, this is the display box. It's a lovely silver cube with a little nameplate on the front to show you, yes, it is in fact an Ultra Ball. There's a Pokeball emblem on the top, as well as a groove. We'll get to that in a bit. Besides that, yeah, just normal silver display box. If we open it up, the Pokeball, whichever one it is, rises from within, which is, yeah, a cool trick, I will admit. And then if I put my hand near it, it will light up. The first one's a little bit slow, but as you mess with it, then it gets a little bit more reactive and responsive. Then it gets super bright when you actually come in contact. So it's actually a really neat sensor trick that I can actually tell when my hand's getting close to it. Okay, that part is really neat. The Ultra Ball itself is very heavy. This is metal constructed. It feels like what an actual Pokeball would feel like, which, as a tactile sensation and experience, that ain't too bad. And then you get this really smooth paint job all the way around. It looks very, very much like if an Ultra Ball was real. Now, a few other things. We'll go ahead and set the Pokeball aside for a second so you can see what the base is doing. There's a light underneath in order to illuminate the ball from underneath. If we tap the front plate, we can get it to change color. So it was on yellow, went to blue. Then we have pink. Then we have more teal color. There's white, which is the default. There's red. And we switch it to green. And then back to the yellow, which I think is the appropriate color for the Ultra Ball. If you want to turn it off completely, you just hold the nameplate for a few seconds. It'll shut the whole thing down. And then, when it comes to the ball itself, what does it do? Okay, so we can play a little bit of a catching game by pressing the button. So it will blink just like it does in the video game when you're attempting to catch a Pokemon. And if you successfully catch, it'll flash green at the end. Now let's see if we can get the other response. There. That's a miss. If it turns red before those three flashes turn to green, then you officially missed a catch. So I don't know the probability if it's 50-50 or if you have because it can flash red after 1, 2, or 3 flashes, just like the Pokeballs in the game. So I'm not sure exactly if you are getting any. I don't know what the odds of getting the green are, but it's a fun little thing to see if the people you are, if your friends or anything can catch one. If you wanted to change display color, you double tap it. That changes to red. That changes to green. And then back to the default white. And frankly, that's about all it does. Now, inside the battery compartment, you do get this little ring, which means you can display the Pokeball on its own without it falling or rolling around on your table, which is neat. And then the ring does fit on top of the box, and you can put the ball there as well, which is fine. I'm not a fan of how it looks like that, but you can do that if you wanted to be on this elevated pedestal of sorts. Honestly though, for what you're getting here, these things cost $100 when they first come out, and I honestly don't see it. I understand that this proximity trick, like this sensor that detects like how close my hand is getting, like that is impressive. Like that's a neat trick. You can see how like sensitive it is if I put it from the side. That's a neat trick, but I don't know if it's a $100 trick. I used to have like little lamps as a kid that turned on when I touched them. That works in a similar, concept. And that wasn't a $100 lamp. That's like $10. It's like $10 back then. So no, I feel like you are definitely buying the license here, and you're buying the metal construction. Like I said, it is very heavy. It does feel like what a real Pokeball would feel like, I would imagine. That said, I don't see the $100 value here. I bought this on clearance for $60, and even that feels steep for what I am getting. You know, I wish it opened up. I wish it had sound effect. I wish it did something else besides just a few light tricks, because it doesn't seem like it's pulling its weight as far as being a high-end collectible. You know, I feel like I'm paying for the license. You know, and it just does not amount to like a satisfying toy experience. So I know people who love them. You know, if you can justify the 100 and you just have to have the closest thing to a real Pokeball you're ever going to get, have at it, but hope to find one a little bit under normal retail. So that's your fair warning for the day.
Analysis complete. Adapting translators to local language.
Are you out there?